In 1883, astronomer José Bonilla glanced into his telescope and saw a celestial event of potentially devastating proportions. A giant comet was breaking up in front of the Sun, sending thousands of fragments hurtling towards the Earth. Scientists estimate that contact with just one of these fragments would be an impact similar in size to the Tunguska event, which felled 80 million trees in 1908. These hundreds, maybe thousands, of fragments missed Earth by distances as narrow as 400 miles. That's like running through the forest, with your eyes closed, and undoubtedly drunk, without hitting a single tree. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake rocked the northeast coast of Japan. Its epicenter was 130 kilometers off Sendai. It occurred at a relatively shallow depth of 32 kilometers. The tremor violently shook northeast Honshu for 6 minutes and collapsed its coastline by 1 meter. Waves of 3 to 38 meters then pounded Honshu's coastline, destroying towns and villages and flooding areas up to 10 kilometers inland. Tsunami waves also swept across the Pacific, causing damage or disruptions in Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. Casualties from the earthquake and tsunami in Japan was approximately 30,000. More than 125,000 buildings have been washed away or seriously damaged. Property damage is estimated to be more than $310 billion. 4 nuclear reactors were also damaged, leading us almost to the edge of a nuclear winter. In 1953, 6 years after the Doomsday Clock, the Soviet Union detonated its first nuclear bomb, and then headed up the arms race. The United States and Soviet Union both were exploding bombs to show off their powers. They were fighting like teenagers about who had the most power. At that time, they did not realize that they held the triggers to end life on the whole planet. Thankfully, this blood war came to an end. 88,000 people died when Indonesia's Mount Tambora erupted in 1815. It spewed out 175 cubic kilometers of dust and rocks, setting off a domino effect of disasters, from deadly whirlwinds to 4.6-meter-high tsunamis. Traces of the ashes were discovered 1,300 kilometers away from where the eruption took place. The eruption is also the cause of famine and epidemics that occurred throughout Europe. On November 24, 1961, the world came pretty close to a nuclear end, thanks to a broken communications system. The United States Strategic Air Command Headquarters was unable to make contact with 3 missile sites. Because of the lack of communication, this was a sign of enemy attack. SAC began preparing a bombing crew to take to their airplanes. All-out war with Russia was imminent, until contact with B-52 was made.